I understand from my one of my viewers in Pennsylvania that he gets tired of looking at my stupid face during these videos and prefers just hearing my voice over explaining some of the images that I bring out. So I thought I'd do a discussion of some images. This is, you can't quite see it, but entering Seattle from the south on the busway, first thing you see is a Paratex exterminator. And using three lines for its E. A black woman came in to CCAC when I was library clerk there and called attention to that use of the E of her own. The postal union, of course, was aware that Pina Gabriel was sending me postcards with strange lettering intended to um, mirror the graphics of King Kook or whatever you call that band. Now, I've called attention to patterns in the cinema of Reagan. There's quite a number of allusions to Kennedy's assassination. Notice his hand is on one side of his head, and he says, "Well, I was out there in front for a while." And then the other side of his head, then bang, I was flat on my can. Now you're going to remember this day for an awfully long time. Could it be that these cinema people knew right down to, um, in the assassination of Kennedy, to which they were alluding, right down to the idea that um, there would be confusion about the direction of the bullets? It seems so, judging from that storm warning image. Now, I talked about Mount Desert Island. Why would I go there? Because I wanted to prove that there was a mouse trap that indicated prior intention in the AIDS attack. This image is from a film made with Errol Flynn during World War II. And although you can't really see it, the US is over the swastika here, where it says rather us. It's too dark to see it. But in the script I was sent, one of the things that the writer says is, "I'm about ready to send you ESP signals." Well, that's very interesting that because they came from a pornography company corporation. We see here a Japanese image with the name James. So you wonder if what they're alluding to is actual graphics in addition to the ingenuity of the power of suggestion generally. This is an image from Birth of the Nation. They were the first use of the burning cross. They were the ones for the KKK, which was a medieval symbol. They were the ones who made the wartime film with Errol Flynn, um, which was very suggestive of with the U.S. over the swastika of a pro-Hitler sensibility. Now, from the letters of Gail Burson, you see she didn't do something they wanted her to because her face would get red and blotchy. These are the people who were behind the AIDS experiment. She says they call me Egg at school. That's the name of a pornography company too. And Go to Sleep. You see, they mongered that they would kill Miss Goto if she didn't give her virginity. But she was in on it. That was just the production idea. You could see the image, the look-alike of Gail Burstyn in a striped swimming suit The girl on the doll with the bloody racing glove on the cover of Sergeant Pepper's also is wearing a striped suit. And someone's about to draw up a pebble in a completely still pool. The man who murdered Shannon Harps had a look-alike on the staff of Sound Mental Health. Very significant fact that they were using doubles in confiscating lives over a penny. Notice the Yoko O is hiding her left hand. It's from a symbol from how the West was won. And she's standing with a green bottle before the world. It's, how the West was won is who wins the woman as a bride. And this is Yoko O from the Oswald Diary of Life magazine. This is from the script. I'm really sick of Nabucco and her stupid code about what boys should do and girls should do. Nabucco was the name of the woman who starred in the film Children of Hiroshima. This letter says, when Thursday is a day two. If Thursday's a day two, what might that have to say about Nabucco's stupid code of what boys should do and girls should do? Wed first is the idea. In this Japanese film, notice the surreal Armageddon feel of the soccer court. I expressed to you that there's an underlying thinking going on in that aesthetic dimension. Here's John Wayne with Lee Harvey Oswald in a naval mess hall. Recall what I said about entrapment. I had been entrapped once before as a very young child, and so I knew what I was talking about and why I should be concerned. And the Japanese had images like this in a documentary after a film about Unit 731, which you can look up, was bacteriological warfare unit of Japan. It's Dee Dee's birthday, she wrote, and furthermore, 6 years ago today, Martin Luther King was shot. Dee Dee had lost her virginity, you see, so Martin Luther King was shot. And they were mongering a quid pro quo of sex tit for tat between the races. A wag from the stranger group who Slasher murdered Shannon Harps was so good as to interpret one of my explanations for what was going on Mount Desert Island. I don't remember what I decided, but just having to decide nearly killed me. See, these are the pills that make her face red and blotchy, the poison pills. I don't remember, but they nearly killed me. Does that sound familiar to anyone who watches my videos? Now, they notice how the men standing closest to these shooting incidents bear resemblance to one another. I present to you that it's proof and evidence of trickery, and that the planning for this goes way back to World War II, when you see that I was raised under a painting of Hitler nuns, raised under painting of Hitler nuns, and my father's World War II Navy ship with George Bush had various kinds of masquerades going on board. So what you see is that these images catch my eye for a reason. Notice that Lee Harvey Oswald's Army ID is dated for the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Can you notice this fact? It's a very interesting fact. And they have in the porn group that in question images of a stripped naked individual standing before a trial bench. putting them on trial. And of course, it's all about virginity and chastity and national security. Notice the form of language she uses in the script. So what we're seeing here is a pattern that it is justified to look into. One of the things that everyone seems determined to overlook is that the leader of this group was getting off the ground in the 70s and poses outside the World Trade Center with a swastika. Now, why would that be? And with a stiletto. Now, why would that be curious to me, given that she's in protest groups about biological death and they used anthrax? Notice that it says it's cartoon from when I was um, inducted into King Crimson. It says right here something about the promised land. And the reason is because the Watton makers who played this for me wanted the neurosurgeon and implanted a nerve agent. The father was from um, Attica State Prison. Had shown me images of Yad Vashem. So when Gail Burson wrote to me, I knew she was from the Jewish Holocaust survivor community. I thought that's what many of her indications about Europe and millions of deaths was reference to, because she was from the Jewish community and they were all suffering from memories of that terrible time. So, but as you can see, there's a similarity between the Mothers of Invention, Susie Creamseat's What's Got Into You, and the Oswald edition of Life magazine, um, promoting the Oswald's diaries, where they have these scientists saying garlic breath gave researchers a clue. Pitt was saying that my behavior was a clue to some sinfulness, but in my confusion, but really it was their entrapment that was a clue to the nature of the attack. Now, Howden by Bowie was notoriously part of his movement glorifying the Third Reich. He did that many times in the course of his career, and that was one of the notorious times when he did, in fact, do exactly that. And what you find in Jack Ruby's Carousel Club are the sort of striptease people who had an influence over hair after the Beatles and their gang murdered JFK. We hear the croquet Ragusa Corona braying for closure. What she wants is a complete reversal of fortunes for the Axis concerning World War II. So, as you can see, they're playing Let's Make a Monkey Out of America. So, then that's what they intend to do. It's very frustrating trying to reason with peers and talk to people about these collections of images because they don't particularly care and they're not on the up and up about the way that cinema is used for propaganda purposes. And as a result, they can't comprehend something like the symbol of the bayonet going up Jackie Kennedy's midriff, or Sergeant Pepper type crowd, which there's an image of Poe. There you see the striped outfit I referred to when I showed the image of Gail Burstyn. What this crossover of image puzzles connects is a hidden seance of images in our media put together by people who were lying to us and who were loyal to the Axis. And it wasn't just Oswald's diary that of life, the edition of life. There was quite a number of things indicating planning. Notice they used a Japanese woman in You Only Live Twice. Ian Fleming was a spy master who was friends with Allen Dulles. He shut down um, the FBI's jurisdiction with the founding of the CIA over domestic murders by foreign intelligence in the United States. J. Edgar Hoover, on one of the rare occasions when he was in the moral right, refused to grant them a license to kill. And we see here Adolf Hitler's filmmaker who went to Africa after World War II and began to start with her new entourage, which was planning a um, revenge attack. And it's very clearly a factor in cinema. Mechanic, this man had a namesake, a man named Charles Bronson filmed the actual assassination. And of course, there was the famous story of the Great Hoax, which was a dry rehearsal for um, London's plan to pretend he was killed. And the crowd was so good as to leave a cartoon outside the library where they lied to me and left me screaming in seizures and homelessness. The joke's on you, leaving me minded that the KKK has bragged that there were loyal blacks in the Confederacy, which is now an arc of colors. Their Secret Service used to meet in Liverpool.